Alright guys, let's get started. Alright, seeing quorum present, I'd like to call this Semmes City Council work session to order. The time is now 6:02. Please remember to place your cell phones and all electronic devices in silent mode in order to prevent any disruptions in tonight's meeting. Roll call, Ms. Hanberry.
Councilmember Watts. Here. Councilmember Ebright.
Here.
Councilmember Herring.
Here.
Councilmember Joyce.
Here.
Councilmember LaShee.
Here.
Mayor Van Hook.
Here. Alright, so we're gonna go to minutes. Minutes for January 20th were emailed to each council member prior to tonight's meeting. We tried to email January 18th minutes. Obviously they didn't go through. We had a staff member out with COVID last week, so we're running behind on them. Shannon's making a copy for the minutes for you guys now. We'll review the, I'll give you guys a minute to review them, but we will do discussion on January 20th minutes on Thursday rather than tonight. On 18th. On Thursday rather than tonight. So I'll take one more moment to review for me. Shannon's bringing a printed copy. Tony, you don't have one of your packet?
What's that?
18th minutes. I really don't know. Do you have any yours?
Oh, I have a
No, I just got the tax order.
Okay. So we only need 2 copies because they've got theirs too.
Yeah, I just got the email. She just sent it right now, so. Yeah. So I got an email copy now. And it's long.
Yeah, that's long.
Liz, either way, we're glad to have you back. I'm glad you're feeling much, much better.
Thank you.
She's been out for 10, 11 days now.
I'm good now.
Jacob's back.
Jacob's back.
Yeah.
Jacob, we're glad to have you back too, sir.
Yep.
Does somebody want my minutes?
All right, so I'm going to open up for discussion for January 20th minutes, all right? And then we'll discuss the 18th if you have any questions on Thursday night's regular session. Councilmember Joyce?
I don't have any comments on the minutes per se, but just sort of the procedure of it. I mean, like the mayor said, given the unexpected circumstances, and the staff does a great job of getting everything to us, but we get all these emails, and so I'm going to point the finger at you, Councilmember Ebright, that when there's something wrong, the email, the packet goes to like 10 of us. Just direct a correction or something to the mayor or to Shannon, they'll take care of it. I don't think the fire chief or the police chief, I'm just going to name names, really care whether or not the minutes are in our packet or not. That's not why they're attending. We just get a lot of emails, so if we could just, reply to those. I find that when I find things, instead of waiting to the meeting, I just message the mayor and it gets taken care of, or it's brought up or whatever. And because it's not, the minutes, we don't need Chief Friend putting out an APB on a set of minutes. So we have plenty of time before the meeting. Is that talking to me?
I don't know. Where's my watch? Who do you want to send it to?
No one. So it would just be my suggestion on something like that. Just reply back to who got it, because we all just don't need to see some of that, because we get overwhelmed. We have a lot of things going on, so. And
I appreciate that, Councilmember Bush. Even you, like you said, you've come to me a couple times and I've addressed the situation. Yep. Councilmember LaShee's come to me a couple times. Councilmember Herring's come to me a couple times and we've addressed the situation. So I do appreciate the support.
Right. I mean, it's minutes. It's not the substance of the change order issue that we're dealing with or anything like that. So. Anyway, maybe it's just me because I get so many emails. Anything that we can do to reduce it, and you all address it, because when we all look at our packets, we know what we've got or don't have and what matches and doesn't. That's it.
Again, please bear with us because we still have staff out. As you can see, we're very to the minimum right now. And so we still have staff out. It has hit us. COVID has hit us, and it's hit a lot of our staff members, unfortunately. Councilmember Herring?
Nothing.
Councilmember Ebright?
Nothing, sir, and point taken, thank you.
Councilmember Watts?
No.
And Councilmember LaShie?
No.
Alright. Thank y'all. Discussion, let's see, minutes will be up for approval, both of them, and we'll discuss January 18th at Thursday night's regular session. Alright, we have no presentations tonight, so do we have any comments on services, policies, and/or affairs of the city?
No, sir.
Wow. Let's see, we have no ordinances, no proposed ordinances. We'll move on right into our two resolutions for discussion this evening. And first is Resolution A, and reads as follows. A resolution granting a business license exemption for vendors participating in the Semmes Azalea Festival sponsored by the Semmes Chamber of Commerce on March 20th, 2022. As you know, in years past, we've approved an exemption of business licenses for the vendors for the Azalea Festival in hopes of attracting more vendors for this event. More vendors obviously equals more visitors to the city of Semmes. This event is in conjunction with the city of Semmes, as we have sponsored it every year, so it does meet the qualifications for an exemption. Am I correct? Councilmember Joyce, discussion?
No, I think this is something we, always, do for these events, so I think it's, good to do. So looking forward to seeing what vendors we do have. Can I make a comment though?
Sure,
On that?
yes.
Is, and I know Liz is here, not that she's here, but we actually may be lining up a, bird of prey from the Environmental Study Center. They've agreed to come do, 2 raptor shows, in the
Really?
afternoon. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was fun.
You want to take pictures?
I have before, my
That's
friend's
awesome.
the biologist there, so, but it's a great educational, you know, they bring the bald eagle, owls and all that sort of stuff, so. And I'm not doing this on my own, I did talk to Brenda about it.
Oh, yeah, I think it's great.
That's awesome. Councilmember Harry?
That sounds like fun. Or do you get the whole, any of the hogs?
No, you can stand right next to them and get your picture taken.
That's good enough.
but-
And poke your eye out.
You know, depending on which one, I mean, all the birds that they have, and reptiles and other things that they have cannot be released back into the wild because they've been injured from birth or hit by a car. So, but they do a great job of telling you sort of about the species and what they do. So for example, the bald eagle, Luca, has the bill across the beak. And so it could not survive in the wild, so they have to mush up its food. But it's an absolutely beautiful bald eagle other than that. And so, so she can bring them out and talk about them and, you know, their habitat and, you know, the good things, you know, the pitfalls of overdevelopment and stuff.
It's really neat to always add something new, because Jason and I have been involved with the Azalea Festival for years.
I would
So
suggest that as a tour, but never had.
it's always awesome to add something new.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely- it's awesome.
And the Environmental Studies Center is actually part of Mobile County Public School System.
Right.
So it's got a beautiful campus, you can go visit, over on Kirby Road. But they do various, shows and stuff, but I'm a little partial to the raptor, so I asked her if she would do the raptor. But I think that's, you know, seeing a bald eagle, you know, just a couple feet from you is pretty cool.
That is, that's pretty exciting. So like, of course, May was saying, you know, I've chaired the event many years, I worked with it, actually that's how I got started on the Board of Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah. Got forced into it.
Yes. And so I understand, you know, you know, how important that one event can be for our community. Draws, I mean, we've had people from Tennessee, North Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, all come over to this event. And so I think it's just a wonderful thing that our community puts on, and, you know, hope to continue it, you know, going forward as well. But anything, of course, that we can do as a city to help that event be prosperous, you know, it's something good I'd like to see for sure.
Absolutely. Councilmember Ebright?
Yeah, great event, glad here with adding more stuff to it. Did get some, you know, Facebook comments wanting to know if the classic, you know, Corso was gonna be there this year.
Yeah, they've already signed the, from what I know, Liz, y'all already signed it.
They'll be there, okay, glad to hear it, because there's been several people inquiring about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I heard that, it's gonna be the same time doing, Fairhope's too. And I heard some of the vendors are changing their mind, going over there and want to come here,
Are
so.
they doing theirs on a Sunday?
Huh? Well, they do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I think the last day is the Sunday over there.
Councilmember Watts?
No,
Councilmember LaShie?
I think it'd be a good idea and a good way to vent too.
I will say too, that we'll also come back to the council, because obviously we'll have staff working that day of the event and helping the Chamber of Commerce. So we'll need to get approval for this council for them to do so as well, okay? So we'll also come back, that'll be another resolution I will present in the future. They just wanted to go ahead and we want to go ahead and get this one out for them to go ahead and start advertising with their vendors. All right, so resolution A will be up for approval at Thursday night's regular session. All right, next is resolution B and reads as follows: a resolution authorizing funding for a change order for the Semmes Public Safety Complex. Normally, Mr. Franklin would be presenting this resolution to council, but couldn't be present this evening. Tonight we have our first set of change orders for the Public Safety Complex. Now, how I want to do this, I want to read each of the change orders separately, and then I'm open for discussion up after each change order. This is all one resolution, all right? So here we go. We're going to start with the first change order. Is change order number 1. And in your packet, if you'll look, we've presented the change order so you guys can take it home, digest it. And if you have any discussion, I'll try to answer whatever I can tonight for Mr. Franklin, but he should be here Friday. So if I can't answer a question for you tonight, he'll be here Friday to answer your questions. all right?
Thursday.
You mean Thursday?
Be Thursday. Lord, what did I say, Friday?
Friday.
You said what?
Friday.
Yeah.
He's probably watching now laughing at me. All right, so change order number 1 is in the amount of $5,128. This is the Decon laundry room. After inspection of the building, we found out that plumbing wasn't ran into the laundry room. So we had to have them come back and take out some concrete, and we have to get we have to get the plumbing ran to go through the outside. This laundry room is different versus our regular laundry room. I don't know how we missed this on the set of plans. We were walking through one day and we're like, how are they supposed to wash laundry in here? There's no pipes, you know, so that's what this one is for. Anybody saying on that one, Chief? Pretty much self-explanatory, huh? All right, so discussion on change order number 1 in the amount of $5,128. Councilmember Joyce.
We need it for whatever reason, oversight. It would have been included originally, so.
Right. Thank you. Councilmember Harry?
That's more to, keep your clothes and everything clean.
Councilmember Ebright?
I take it this is what, for hazmat too? Is that correct, Chief?
It's for the turnout gear.
Turnout good, okay. Thank you, no comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Watts?
No,
Councilmember LaShie?
well, was this not on the drawing?
That's a good question. I guess they didn't know it was gonna be a laundry room. I think it was listed
Well, I
as
mean,
decon.
this the architect is in charge of this.
That's right. So it was
It
missed.
should go back to him.
Right. We can't go back to him. We gotta pay for the work to get done, unfortunately. So,
These change orders, they eat your lunch.
I think we'll eat our lunch. We got 3 more change orders. Let's discuss them. Next is change order 3. You'll notice that we don't have a change order number 2, because the change order number 2 was actually a deduction in price for the projects. The deduction was a little over $7,000. It was because of, we decided not to take the sheetrock all the way up to the ceiling into the bay. So we saved a little over $7,000 on there, and there will be more deductions in these change orders. There's some other projects that we're working on to get the price down a little bit, and we will bring those before the council and let the council know the deductions, but the council doesn't have to vote on the deductions because obviously we're not spending money. All right, next is change order 3. Let's see, where's that one? In the amount of $26,393. Let's see, BCM Moorings contract had them running utilities to the building and up to 5 feet outside of the building. But we have to run the water and the fire lines out to all the way to the right of way. And this wasn't actually in the original project. So that's all I know about that one. Discussion, Councilmember Joyce?
What exactly is this? Did you?
We have to, basically we have to hook up where they're hooking up the fire and the water. And what I know of is out by the streets. And they don't, the original project that they bid on doesn't have BCM mooring going all the way out to the road. That there was like a connect I guess, from a certain footage from the building.
Gotcha.
Let's go to the fire main.
That's right,
It's outside the road.
that's right, and we have to actually go on.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Well, that's
Okay.
the avenue.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, and but I noticed that each one has a separate time, extension, 5 days for the first one, 7 days for this. I assume you just, we're adding this, each of these on to the, how long it's, completion date?
What do you think on
I
that?
don't know if that's,
Or how
you
does that
know,
work?
concurrent or,
That's what I was wondering.
yeah, I don't.
Because there's, one is 1 day, 2 of them are 7 days, and one's 5 days.
We'd have to ask them.
Of that, Jason?
Right, because I mean, that's
Yeah.
several weeks, so, that's gonna bump it past the estimated completion
Good question.
by a couple of weeks.
Councilmember Herring?
Oh, I have one more
no.
question, sorry.
Answers
Oh,
were-
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
I don't have any.
Your
The
term has
res-
expired.
I object. The,
Second.
the, agenda item 7B, the resolution, just talks about the 5128, the total cost, so not to exceed 5,200. So I assume that's for change order 1. Is there any,
No, that's not the right you already did that resolution. That's not the
This
right
is the,
resolution.
this is the
That's
packet, so
it.
there are no
That's the
other
one.
change orders, there's only one change order.
You sent a
Oh, yeah,
resolution
I
out
already
with 3
did,
of them.
yeah.
That's the one I have.
Hold on, we'll get it for you.
Yeah, that's the one that was sent out.
I mean, I don't need it now, we're just looking at change orders, I'm just.
Yeah, well, make sure you
making
guys
a-
have the right one for Thursday's meeting.
Yeah.
But he did write a resolution. I will email it out right after this meeting.
I get it.
All right, good catch. Councilmember Herring?
No, my questions are already answered from, Councilman Walsh and Councilman Hill.
Thank you. Councilmember Ebright?
Yeah, you said, main fire lines across the street, so it's gotta be bored across, correct?
Councilmember Watts? No. Councilmember LaShie?
Nothing.
All right.
And I guess asking because the first resolution, I'm skipping a turn, rounds up the number, so I assume these other change orders are rounded up, so that we get an idea what the actual total is.
Right. All right, next is change order number 4, the amount of $20,872. I will blame this resolution on myself. I asked them to give me a quote for the parking lot. The parking lot wasn't in the original quote. They were just going to, I think, paint the parking lot was in the original quote. And then, of course, we got to look at it with the trucks that are gonna be on there and the amount of money that we're spending on the public safety complex. It was only, a right for us to put a new parking lot in to match what our public safety complex was gonna be in. This resolution is in the amount of $20,872. Again, all this will be through bond issuance. Councilmember Joyce?
Well, I think that makes sense, cause those apparatus weigh a lot, and, given the state that it's currently in, it needs to start on a sort of a fresh base. This is not the Dollar General with a few, various cars coming in and out. So tens of thousands of pounds of equipment, so, I think, and now is the time to do it before they get in.
Right. Councilmember Herring?
So, see that it's gonna be going over the existing asphalt that's there, so there's no expansion?
We'll add additional changes.
Okay, but I was saying there's no, y'all are going further out all
No.
around or anything?
I think that's what the original project included widening the entrance.
Yeah,
So it'll include, we'll redo that as well.
okay. That's all I have.
Councilmember Ebright?
All right, so this is include widening the entrance and then add.
No, the widening entrance is already part of the original project.
Okay.
But this will, the repaving it will, is the parking lot.
Right, because some of the asphalt busted up at the building too.
That's right.
So that was included in the.
Well, the up to the building is, there'll be concrete poured right there.
Okay.
Cause that's, what is that, for kind of like an entry,
Right,
for
for the
the church
ramp.
and all that. So that won't be asphalt up to the building, that would be more concrete built right
All right.
there.
And then, my second question is, it's gonna be what, 2 different layers, a half inch and then a 2 inch layer?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Cause
Councilmember
those
Watts?
tarps are heavy with water,
Yes.
so. Thank you.
Councilmember Loshi?
I know all I need to know about that.
Alright, so that one was at the request of myself. And this last one is also a request of myself, which is change order number 5. This is adding cages around air conditioning units behind the building. There was another option for installing the air units, elevate them above on the back wall. That came in a little over 11,000. So this is just to build the cages around the air units in the back. And let's see, that was in the amount of $3,513 versus over the 11,000 for elevating them. I really liked. I don't know if you guys have been behind Semmes Pharmacy. They have theirs elevated, and I really like that because I don't want anybody messing with them. And we've had the prior owner of the building has had issues when we got there. There was no air conditioning because they've been stolen. So hopefully, with this being a public safety complex, cross your fingers, knock on wood, that they'll leave everything alone if we just put a fence around there. And so we're hoping our police department will do a good job keeping them away. But this route is a $3,513, and I believe the other route of elevating them, like some pharmacy, was a little over 11,000. We chose this route because of the total cost of the projects. And again, this is requested by myself. Discussion, Councilmember Joyce.
So, 3,500 for these, what sort of,
It's a fence cage to go around.
just like a fence with a little padlock thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and how expensive is the HVAC equipment?
It's very expensive.
Yes, so what ballpark is that?
I couldn't tell you how much the HVAC equipment was. Are you asking about the other quote? Is that what you're asking for?
No, what I'm saying is that the purpose of this is that
Oh, yes.
if you're maybe making the suggestion that the neighborhood, et cetera, is not very great since this was, vandalized, and, there's a reason that this public safety complex is going there.
That's right.
Then it's, spending a little bit of money to protect it that is easily broken into, that, other businesses, is this not, since we are spending so much money, would it be worth, going with the higher thing and raising it and doing it like Semmes Pharmacy once and for all, because this is a big investment.
Give the total amount for that one for you real quick. Let me look it up. So the total amount of that, the option 1 is what they called it, and that would be elevating it. If y'all want to go that route, that's $11,672.
So, right, so, isn't this building $1 million
By the time we go
renovation,
over it, yeah.
retrofit, and then, however much the equipment and personnel we're gonna have in there, and we obviously need to have these things working properly. And so if we're spending a little, I know we can do the math,
Yeah.
3,500 instead of 11,000. I mean, it's not like it's 20 or 40,000 to build, to do it up like the Semmes Pharmacy. I'm just wondering now, instead of coming back and finding out that, we got some people that couldn't care whether or not it's the public safety, police department or whatever, they're still gonna vandalize it. And so I'm just wondering if not that you wanna spend more money than we have to, but we're making a big investment, and that's something, if that extra $7,000 or $8,000 coming out of the bond.
I agree. I mean, I
would,
like the
I
idea.
would prefer to,
The
go
building
that
backs
way.
up to woods too, so we'll never see if anybody comes to that property in the back as well.
Right, I mean, and, we've had some areas where we have those squatters hanging out and whatnot, so, anyway, that would be, I would actually, prefer or go for,
Option 1.
right, it's, I'll use the analogy of, as people talk about buying the most expensive camera for their photography, since I spent the afternoon doing that, but then, and we have a photographer in residence here, but then going cheap on your memory card or something else. So you need to protect it as best you can. So That's me, I'll shut up now.
All right, well, nice. That's why we had these conversations. Councilmember Herring?
I honestly feel the same as well. You know, I mean, 3,500 to one person is still nothing to swat at, it's a good bit of money. But, you know, to prevent anything from possibly happening, would just be spending an additional $7,000, and then we never have that thought even cross our minds, nor have a cage, you know, set up and mounted on the back of our public safety building. You know, because I feel like that also gives it a, you know, kind of a bad look, like we're already expecting something bad to happen. When if you can just go ahead and just pay the money and have it lifted up and, you know, be out of sight, out of mind at that point.
Right.
Would be my thought on it.
I like the idea. Councilmember Ebright?
I have to agree with the two council members. Basically, you know, I believe Public Works has a welding machine, correct?
Jason, you have to ask Jason.
Okay.
I'm sure they
Well, I
have a
mean,
welding
they
machine.
could,
I'm sure we
actually
have
probably
somebody
could
to-
build a
yeah.
cage a lot cheaper than this is, you know, cause, you know, I get it done all the time. But also, the generator is also.
Let me stop right here
Okay.
before you get started on that. You know, everything that we build is gonna go through BCM warranty because of warranty issues.
Yeah,
So, that's why we do change orders through that company, because at the end of the day, everything falls under warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, even with, and I hate to say it, you know, even with the parking lot, it's a little bit more expensive.
Oh,
But it falls under the warranty of BCM mooring, and we would rather much deal with one company versus 100.
got it.
So,
Alright, and then, the generator is it gonna be on the ground or protected
it's
too?
gotta be on the ground because it's huge.
Yeah, but it'll be more on the side of the building, not in the
Well,
back.
yeah, we'll deal with protection on that.
Okay.
When that comes along. But the generator, I mean, how big was the generator, Chief? Do you remember?
I think it was 100 kW.
So,
Gonna be gas or diesel?
Diesel.
Diesel.
Stick with the, AC meter.
Yeah, I like, option one, myself, with like the rest of the council members. Alright,
Councilmember Harris.
No comment.
Councilmember Lawson, what are your thoughts?
You definitely need to protect it. I mean, you don't wanna be replacing.
Right. Do you like the, first option with the elevated, or do you like the second option doing the fence around it?
I like the fence around
I'm gonna send option one over to y'all and to Jacob. Look at it. All right. Hopefully we won't have to have too many of these meetings about change orders. You know, we're getting ready to start up City Hall next week too. So the middle's coming in next week for City Hall.
It's the joys of construction.
That's the getting involved in construction and moving our city forward comes along with, what do they say, comes along with aches and pains, growing pains. Growing city comes with growing pains.
got one more comment about,
Sure.
public safety being, I take it it's gonna have security cameras also?
Oh yeah, we've already dealt with, we're getting Rayco involved in that one. That was actually less than, it's gonna be a public works project. So obviously it's less than, what's the cap, 50,000? 15, no, it's 50 for public works, so we're going through Rayco with that.
Alright,
Um,
yeah,
it'll
cause
be
you
the
always
same
get a
company.
camera on those two areas.
Rayco will be doing the, security and for that building and for City Hall. So, so that's it for Resolution B. That was the last change order, correct? All right, so Resolution B will be up for approval at Thursday night's regular session. All right, any other comments from this council? All right, Jacob, you have anything for us?
Yeah, I've got plenty, but not a whole lot that I'm gonna say in front of camera. We're moving along in a couple of our lawsuits, and so far it's been pretty positive, I think. But I think in a month or so, we probably need to have an executive session to discuss everything.
Agreed. All right, anything from the staff? Chief, you have anything for us, PMA?
I don't.
Chief, you have anything for us? Liz?
Yeah, we have a movie night, on the 11th at 7 p.m. at Pathway Church.
We're playing
It is,
Clifford
the dog.
Big Red Dog.
Big Red
Big Red Dog.
Get it right. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Look at, she's so excited. You see her face?
And what date was that again?
The 11th.
Huh?
The 11th.
11th
Mhm.
of February.
This is Thursday.
All right, and then we do have a proclamation on Thursday. So I don't have anything else. Miss Debbie, you have anything?
No, sir.
All right, Debbie, let's see any business
Mayor.
I'll cover this meeting.
I would like to, say that, Parks and Rec meeting will be on the 7th at 6 o'clock, and everybody's welcome to attend.
All right, thank you. Any other business I come from this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Councilmember
Second.
Joyce, seconded by Councilmember Herring. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned at 6:33. Thank y'all.
A little bit longer, I thought.